I don't know what I expected 45 to feel like, but it has both exceeded my expectations and completely disappointed me. Welcome back to Rebel with a Plan. I am Dakota Rebel. If you are new here, real quick, I am on a no-buy journey for the year of 2025, and every month I come and I update you on how that no-spend is going. This month is a little different because it's my birthday month, and there are rules about this no-buy, things that I can buy, things that I need to really consider if it's a need or a want, and then just red light categories where I am not allowed to spend on anything in this category. However, this month was my birthday and I received, gift cards and money, and so I didn't really want to attach rules to presents because I feel like when someone gives you a gift card, that is the same as giving you a gift, right? So I can use that to buy things outside of the rules of my no-buy. What is funny is that I've come nowhere near spending all of the gift cards and money I was given for my birthday, not even close. And I haven't bought anything in the red light category with that money. So let's get into what I did buy, and we'll see how we're doing. And more importantly, we're going to talk about what I learned in the month of April, because we are now 4 full months into this journey, and I've learned something every single month. But this month specifically, I've learned a very valuable lesson, and I'm excited to get into that with you. So, as always, we start with my green light category. I paid my bills, I bought groceries. Green light category, open to spend, and I spent in those categories that I'm free to spend in because they are required to keep the lights on. So the bills were paid, the groceries were bought, everything is fine. In the yellow light category are things such as shipping supplies for my eBay store, sports cards, because I flip sports cards on eBay. And I did go to a sports card show and I did purchase some cards. I spent about $10 on sports cards. And when I got them home and looked them up, they weren't really worth anything. So that was just $10 kind of sitting on a shelf right now until I get around to figuring out how I want to deal with those cards, because they're worth about what I spent. So I did buy sports cards. They ended up not being eBay worthy. So they will go in the box until we decide how we want to sell the less valuable cards of our collection. And then for the red light category, these are probably pretty common things that people tend to blindly spend money on, especially in our community of planners. So it's things like planner supplies and stickers, stationery of any kind. For me, it also includes things like mugs and blankets, because I have so many, candles, things like that. And I didn't buy any of those either. Even with my birthday money, I did not bring more of those things into my house. So technically, my no-buy was a win because I followed all of my rules, and I stuck to the rules I set for myself. Part of this journey is not just about using up the things I already have. It's not just about collecting more of the things I already have. It's breaking the idea that shopping is a hobby, that shopping is self-care. It is getting me out of the habit of, I'm bored, let's go to Target. I'm bored, let's go here. Oh, we need to go grocery shopping. Let's go to the superstore that has groceries and all this other shit that we can look at and impulse buy. So yes, I have too much stuff, but I also have a very long-standing habit of shopping as entertainment. And part of this no-buy journey that I am on is to break that cycle of shopping for fun. However, because it was my birthday month and I received monetary type gifts to be spent at stores, we did. My son and I took a day and we went various places. If you are unaware, there are so many retailers that gift you things on your birthday. Sometimes it's like a free cookie at Crumble or a free coffee at Starbucks or special coupons and discounts and things for your birthday. And I love this policy because who doesn't love free stuff, right? So this year I collected up all of the discounts and freebies and things, and I made a list of the things that I wanted for myself that I could get at these places. So, sorry, we had the discussion about perimenopause in my ears. Oh, I just want to rip them off my head. If you haven't seen that video, check that video out here, because if you are in this age bracket, there are surprising symptoms of perimenopause that you might not be aware of. Anyway, so I knew I wanted to get a lipstick. I don't generally wear lipstick on camera, but when I watch back older videos, I'm like, man, I am a pale, pale girly, and that includes all of my features. And so I wanted something a little brighter. So CVS sent me a $3 extra care just for free for my birthday, and I paired that with a CVS coupon for $4 off any Maybelline product. And so I got this lipstick for $1.29 out of pocket after tax, everything. So excellent bargain. Highly recommend coupon stacking at CVS. There are a million videos on YouTube on how to do that. Cannot recommend it enough. Then I had a $5 birthday Kohl's cash. So we went to Kohl's and I got, you can actually see it, the undershirt that's under the shirt, because I cannot find a white t-shirt on this planet that is not see-through. I appreciate that they're finally giving us the whole shirt again, because I am uncomfortable in a crop top, but now all the white t-shirts are see-through. So I had to get like an old school 90s camisole, like the layering tank tops, so that I could get a white shirt and actually wear it. So I had my $5 in Kohl's cash, and this one was on sale, so I spent $10 out of birthday money on the camisole underneath this. And then I had a $15 gift card to Target and a free Starbucks, and our Starbucks is in our Target. So I went and I got my free coffee, and I bought 2 new t-shirts. I got this white one and then the black one that I think you've seen if you've been around me for a while. So I got those 2 t-shirts, and with my gift card, I spent like $1.29 on 2 t-shirts as well out of my birthday money. So that was nice. I needed new shirts. In my original thing where I listed the rules for my Know My Journey, I discussed the fact that I am not a fashion person. I am not a clothes girly. So I don't have clothes in any category, because if I am buying clothes, I need them. I prefer to never shop for clothes. And sometimes it gets to the point where I desperately need to update my wardrobe with a couple of pieces. And that is what I did with my birthday money, gifts, discounts, whatever. So yeah, I got 2 new t-shirts and my free coffee at Target. And then I got an Amazon gift card, which I used to finally purchase the Iron Maiden t-shirt that has been sitting in my cart for like 6 months, and I wouldn't pull the trigger because it was $25. Like I said, I have a problem actually buying clothes, but I'm super excited, and I will wear that in a future video, because if you're one of my Rebel family, you know that I love Iron Maiden. So I was really excited to finally pull the trigger and get that shirt. It's so cute. And yeah, I'll wear that in a future video so you can see it. And then I also got, the window cling. So I shared this in my community post, and I'm going to pop up a little clip of it in a second. But it is a static cling stained glass film that covers this window that I have hated this kitchen window since we moved in. It's like double paned, and like moisture got between the panes. So you couldn't see out of it anyway, and it looked super dingy and gross, and there was no way, without paying someone to come and either replace the window or take it apart and put it back together, there was no way to get it clean. It wasn't inside or outside, it was between the panes, and there was nothing I could personally do about it. Believe me, I tried. So for $7, I got a cover for it, and I'm going to show it to you here. So this is just like a static cling film that sticks right to the window. It can pull off if I ever want it to. I wish the sun was shining more so you could see how stained glassy it is. But it's pretty early, so unfortunately this is the best shot I am gonna get of it for you today. So of all the things that I have talked about so far, the happiest I am of any purchase is that stupid $7 window cover. Like it shoots rainbows all over my kitchen when the sun is out. When I'm doing dishes, it makes the bubbles even more rainbowy. I'm ridiculously happy. I smile every time I look at that window now. A window that has driven me insane for 15 years actually makes me smile now. So that was, of everything, the best $7 I spent of my birthday money. And I'm so pleased with that decision. And then finally, I bought like a plastic greenhouse and our seedlings. So yeah, since that's just planting food, that almost falls under green light grocery anyway. And like, it's the end of April. I really should have had these seedlings started like a month ago. But we're just gonna, I am not a gardener. We plant a garden every year, and sometimes it works out great and sometimes it doesn't. It's very small. If you don't know, we live in a manufactured home community, which is just like a way they can charge you more to live in a trailer park. But I love my house, and we have a yard. It's not huge, and there's not a ton of room for the garden, so we usually only plant 3 or 4 things. Last year we bought like a planter, like a big barrel planter, and we did strawberries, and they're already starting to come back, so that's nice. And then we almost always do jalapenos. We always do tomato plants, and then we kind of rotate through other seeds as we see fit. This year I really wanted to do watermelons. We've never done watermelons. I have heard rumors that watermelons kind of go crazy like pumpkins, so we'll have to see what happens. I might have watermelons growing all over my yard. I have no idea, but we will find out later in the summer. So yeah, I'm not a gardener, but we like to have just a few things that we use a lot of, like tomatoes and jalapenos. And it just saves us, a very tiny bit of money over the summer to have our own instead of having to buy them at the store. But I think it's more about the learning, the self-sufficiency, and teaching my son, that there are things you can do to sustain yourself so that you are not constantly relying on the outside world to take care of yourself. So gardening is more of a passion project because we will never be fully self-sufficient. We just don't have the room for it. But we do what we can with what we have, which is pretty much the lesson of my entire channel. So in total, with my birthday income, my birthday monetary gifts, I spent about $50 on myself. I got 3 t-shirts, the undershirt, the lipstick, the window cling, and the seedlings. And like I said, it's my birthday. I didn't technically spend any money of my own, but I did learn, and I was starting to learn it before, but it kind of really got hammered home to me this month. An all or nothing mentality is very difficult to sustain. When I created this challenge for myself, when I set my rules, I thought that by doing it with a green light, yellow light, red light, I was giving myself permission to wiggle. And I am. But kind of my yellow light categories were business expenses, not wiggle room. So telling myself I could buy sports cards, singles, and eBay shipping supplies, or random things I might need for my YouTube videos, I was going to buy those anyway. If I have a legitimate expense for business, that is a green light. That's not a yellow light. That's not a wiggle. That's a necessity. And that was the point of the green light section at all, was my bills and groceries and things. Those are necessities. There's no getting around buying those things. And that is the same with all the things I put in my yellow light. So, and I don't regret the things that I put in my red light, because I have too many blankets and I have too many mugs and I have way too much stationery, as everyone here knows. But I think what I'm coming to terms with all of this, right? We went to Target and we went to Kohl's and we went to CVS, and I knew exactly what I wanted from those places. I knew what I was going in there for, and I went straight there, and there was zero desire to wander. I didn't want to go look at other things. I literally had free money, right? And I only wanted what I wanted, and then I wanted to get out of there. And it wasn't because it wasn't because I was afraid I would slip. It wasn't because I was afraid I would black out and fill my cart with stuff and regret it. Like, that wasn't even a consideration in my head. It was because after 4 months of this, I am starting to break the habit. I am starting to see that shopping is not entertainment. It's not fun for me to do that. And I don't think it has anything to do with it's not fun because I have rules. I think it's not fun because the $7 roll of window cling gave me more joy than any washi tape shopping spree last year ever did. I just end up with, I just have, 30 drawers of these just laying around my house, and they don't bring me joy. They cause stress. It's stressful to have all this stuff laying around that I'm not going to use, that goes bad because it loses its adhesive. But that window cling, that's a little treat. When you say, I've had a bad day and I need a little treat, you can absolutely go buy a $10 latte. That is your right. It is your money. You work for it, whatever. But it's temporary. Like, it's just that moment. You feel good in that moment. Every time I walk in my kitchen, I'm happy. Every time I see the light dancing over my counters, I'm like, man, that was only $7. And that's the lesson. That's the lesson for me. It wasn't joy of spending money. It wasn't the dopamine hit of buy now. It wasn't any of that. It was, I had a legitimate issue. I found the correct repair. I implemented it, and my mood has shifted and continues to shift every time I walk in my kitchen. That's a little treat. That is a sustainable, inexpensive gift to myself that will keep on giving. That Iron Maiden t-shirt will last me 20 years because I do take very good care of my things, except my jeans. My jeans fall apart, and I think that is a them thing and not a me thing. I don't do anything. My job is sitting down, so I don't know why my jeans fall apart, but I didn't buy any jeans, and I think that my husband would prefer that I did. We've had that conversation too. All of my jeans are ripped, organically, not purchased that way, and it drives my husband crazy that I'll just wear ripped jeans around. But as I've said, I am not a fashion girl. I don't care. I very rarely leave my house. I leave my house even less now that I have stopped shopping for entertainment. So I don't care. Y'all don't see my knees, so what do I care what my jeans look like? To be fair, you don't even know if I'm wearing pants. I am, I promise. But the point is, it doesn't matter what my jeans look like. I'm not spending the money to replace them because they are completely functional. They cover what they need to cover, and I am okay with that. As for the t-shirts, I bought 3. I'm probably going to have to throw away like 8 that have holes in them, and I just wear them because clothes I wear until they fall apart. I just do, which is why they were never a consideration for the no-buy. So all of that to say, I will be continuing this no-buy journey. I'm still sticking with it. I still have gift card and birthday money left, and it is just going to get set aside. And if something comes up that I truly believe is going to spark joy in me for the long term, I probably will not hesitate to use those funds for that. When those funds are gone, we will go back to the stricter no, needs only, because I continue to learn lessons in this challenge. I'm learning new things about myself every single month, which means that this challenge is a success. Even when I slip up, I'm learning. And that was the point, right? It wasn't just about all of my stationery supplies falling on top of me. It was about a lifestyle and a mindset shift away from mindless consumerism to directed purchases. As long as I continue to learn lessons, I'm going to continue the challenge, because this has always been about me, not about entertaining you guys. It is entertaining, and I'm sure you get lots of laughs at my expense. But if this no-buy journey stopped working for me, I would walk away from it, because it's my life. It's not just a YouTube channel, right? So yeah, this month was fun. It was, it was nice to get new things. It's always nice to get new things. But it was also nice to know that even when given free money, I have no desire to go back to mindless spending. I have no desire to bring more things into my home that become clutter rather than useful. So yeah, I am learning from this journey, and I'm very glad to be on it, and I'm going to continue on it, and I will continue to update you on it. And I'm so glad that you are here with me. I appreciate you so much, and I love you so much. And if you're still here, please be kind enough to leave me a comment, even if it's just an emoji, you know, like a birthday cake or a heart or whatever, because every comment helps. And don't forget to smash all those YouTube buttons for me. I love you so much, and I will see you next time. Bye. And here now is your moment of Zen.